he ends up coming out. He's like in a towel and like all this other stuff, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, okay. Mama. Come here, Mama. Hi, Mama. Hi. Come. Hey. Woo! Alright, I feel like I need to put some Carmex on my lips. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into this video. Alright, y'all. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I got some crazy ass story times because y'all already know what type of person I am. If you're watching, it's because you know. I did a poll vote on my Instagram, and I said, which one would you guys like to hear first? And you guys did say that you guys wanted to hear the story time of one of my homeboys and a stud. And we got, you know, a little crazy. So I'm definitely gonna go over that. Also, like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff because you know it's gonna eventually help me out. This is probably gonna be the first video that I post. I got some other stuff that I posted like prior to this. A lot of my content that I probably have about a good 2-3 months worth of content. A lot of that stuff that I was recording and filming, for one, I just wasn't myself in it, and I can kind of like go back and see that like none of that stuff was me. On top of the people that were around me, they're not really around me anymore. You know what I'm saying? I had to cut ties. I don't know what that was, but it just felt right. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm at a college party, and it was me. I'm gonna call this girl K. And then I'm gonna call this other girl Simone. So we got K and Simone. Me, K, Simone, we all pull up to the party and stuff. You already know people know me or whatever the case may be, whatever, blah, 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 okay. And you know, everybody's like, oh, what's up, y'all? We didn't know y'all was gonna come through, blah, blah. We spread out in the party. My bitches already know. We get in the, do your thing, cause I'll be doing my thing. I got a notification that came to my phone. So I'm starting to see people at the party that I'm very familiar with, that I know on campus and stuff like that. Everybody, you know, is talking, chopping it up. And as time goes by, more people are starting to arrive at the little party. It wasn't like a party that campus knew about. It was something that we definitely like threw in our own. We all there, we all having a good time and stuff like that. I'm taking drinks back.
2 shots of vodka.
And people, you know, they in their own little corners doing their own substances and things that they get hit with. I don't get hit with that, so I stayed in my own little corner. I don't even think I was smoking weed at the time. We passed some bottles after bottles, like, it's a good time. I start to see this other dude, we just gonna call him Billy. Billy walks up or whatever, he's like, oh, what's up? We do the, you know, okay, we get all that shit out the way. And he's like, he said something to me about this other party that we was at, and I was like, nah, we ain't doing that here at this one. We only do stuff like that at parties that we throw. I'm not bringing my equipment. I'm not doing none of that stuff for stuff that other people throw. I'm just showing my face. So when I throw mine, they come and support mine. He's like, all right, cool. So mind you, I end up seeing this other girl, which is a bro, which is the stud that we will be talking about. I'm just gonna call her D. We just gonna give her a letter. We just gonna say D. So me, D, and Billy are all there pretty much having a conversation now and stuff like that. And we just talking about like mad crazy stuff. You know, the music is playing, we singing along the music, we taking little Snapchat videos and everything like that. I like to dip and dab throughout parties. I don't just stay in one spot. So I end up leaving them two. They already know each other. So it's not like I'm leaving them with like strangers and stuff like that. And I didn't come with y'all to the party anyway. So it's like, I don't even care to leave y'all. And then I came back to them, it had to be like maybe 20 minutes later, because our campus parties used to last a long time. And I was in a little section by like where the little couch was that they were at. And I went and sat down on the couch. I was talking to them about some other people I had ran into, but they weren't paying me no type of mind. Like, okay, my bad, I had got a phone call. But yeah, so the energy was like, oh yeah, he's sitting here talking and stuff like that, but like, he just a background character. He ain't giving like main character energy while he's talking to us. So I'm just like, go. But at that point, I'm a little tipsy. Like, you know that feeling like right before you're drunk, but you're still in your woke mind. It's kind of like, I'm like right between there. So I'm about to sit down. I don't care. You know, I hear them having conversations and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, like, yeah, what you doing after this or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Let's smoke. Let's blah, 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 blah. This other stuff, blah, 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 blah. So then they turned to me. Mind you, I'm already hearing them. I didn't care for an invite, but they turned to me and they was like, oh, D'Angelo, blah, 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 blah. You gonna come? I'm like, y'all don't even smoke. Because at the time, I didn't smoke yet.
I don't need friends. They disappoint me.
Of course, now, you can't get me to separate from it. But at the time, I didn't smoke. So it was just like, all right, I'm going to come with y'all, but have a little bit more liquor. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, yeah, we got that in a room, blah, blah, blah. They was talking about like how they got crown and all this brown stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm a little more on the white side, but it'll do. The party ended up ending maybe like 3 in the morning. We end up leaving the party. Mind you, I already left the party with my 2 friends that I came with, got them back to their dorms, whatever the case may be. They actually went back to the same dorm. After that, I just like kind of dipped off. So I had got in my car. We went, well, I met Billy and D at Billy's room, which is like across campus, like all the way on the opposite side of campus. And we all in there having a good time. They playing the game and stuff like that, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Billy gets up and says that he's about to go take a shower. So I'm thinking, okay. So it was like 20, 30, 40, almost an hour goes past. Like, and each time, like I'm asking, okay, well, damn, this nigga's in the shower for a minute. We're in your room, we're playing your games, we're, I guess, in, you know, your dorm, like, where you at? He ends up coming out, he's like in a towel and like all this other stuff, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, okay. You took all that time in the bathroom to not at least be oiled up and dressed up by the time you got out. Anyway, so I'm like, all right, well, where are the bottles? Because I've been here for an hour now and we haven't drunk anything. At this point, I'm starting to sober up. They're like, yeah, all right, let's get the bottles popping. I'm like, duh, like, what the fuck? Like, it's the weekend. I'm trying to drink. And now we're playing this game called What Are the Odds? So basically, the way this game is played is kind of like truth or dare minus the truth, but on steroids. So let me give you an example. If I was like to Queen, like, okay, Queen, like, what are the odds of you going to eat that bone? Let's say she could talk. Somebody else in the room would say, okay, they're gonna go 1, 2, 3. And right after 3, me and Queen would have to say a number 1 through 10. And if our 1 through 9, yeah, because it's single digit, 1 through 9. And if our numbers match, she has to do it, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So drinking that, and then everybody like knows each other and stuff like that. We got dirt. We're making each other call each other's exes. We're making each other post like stupid stuff on our Snap stories. Like everything is just laughter. Like I even had to strip naked and like run outside the building and come back in. It's like you kind of respect their dares, because if you come up with something crazy for them to do, you're gonna want them to go through it with it too. So it's like, I'll do y'all dares, but just make sure you do mine when I come through with what I got, okay? Because this is a creative little brain right here. We ain't playing no games. We're playing the game and everything. And they start like getting a little freaky with it. So it's like, oh, what are the odds of you drinking the liquor from my belly button and like all this stuff?
Oh, you freaky bitch! Oh my God.
So, mind you, Billy is gay. I forgot to mention that in here. So Billy is gay, but he's not like a gay dude I would be attracted to. So I kind of was just like starting to separate myself from the game. Like it's only so many passes you can get, but I hardly ever pass. Like anybody can tell you if they played this game with me, I never pass when it's my turn. Like I'm gonna take that dare. So I started passing because they just started getting dirtier and dirtier. And like usually when I play this game, it gets messier and messier. Like people are gonna make you do the most messiest, craziest things. The more you go in the game, the more you play. But I've never seen it get like nasty, like freaky. So I'm just looking like, okay. I think something came up and, well, it was Billy's turn and he asked the question to D. And D ended up saying the same number as him when I counted. So D had to take her, like, I don't know, she had to take her clothes off or something. I don't know. And when I seen titties, I was out. I told him, like, at this point it's like 5 in the morning, going on like 6. So I hit them with that, yeah, y'all, I'm tapping out, like, all right, I gotta go, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I left so quick that I completely forgot my charger. I forgot my headphones, because I don't think I had AirPods at the time. Nah, they were like wired headphones. I forgot my charger, I forgot my headphones, and then I forgot my jacket that I had wore to the party too, because it was kind of cold. It was like kind of cold around that time. So I'm like, damn, I'm not gonna have no way to charge my phone, and my phone was on like 3%. I ended up getting like halfway to my dorm and then turned back around. I go back and I knock at the door and there's like music playing and stuff. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're still drinking and smoking and stuff. I started knocking harder. Billy comes to the door, and when he answers the door, he ain't got no shirt on. He in boxers. He in his socks. Like, when he got out the shower and he was in a towel, he got dressed. But it was like, he got undressed. So I'm like, oh, let me in real quick so I can get my stuff. He like, no. He was like, oh, let me grab it for you real quick. He tried to like close the door, but mind y'all, we're close enough for you to open your door in your boxes and your underwear and let me in. Oh, I forgot. When I'm at his door knocking and stuff like that, he answered it. He told me he was the only one that was there. He said nobody else was there at the time, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And that D had went home. I'm thinking in my head, okay, let me in then, like, for me to get my stuff. He was not trying to let me in. Like, he was not trying to let me in. Me not thinking he's trying to cover something up. I asked him, I said, oh, you like a little fling thing for the night? Like, let me know. Like, this was before the word sneaky link and all that was being used. So I'm like, you basically like a sneaky link tonight. And he's like, yeah, or whatever, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, where they at? He like, oh, they in the bathroom or whatever, because they heard you knocking at the door. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me in. So I went in to go grab my stuff, and I see that all of these stuff is still on the bed. So I'm like, okay. So he ends up going to lay down on the bed, and he's in his boxers and socks, and I grab everything. And I'm acting like I'm leaving out the room. So like, you know, somebody's leaving out the room and they close the door behind them, you're gonna hear the door shut. I did that, but I stayed in the room for like 3 seconds. Cause like, the vibe and energy that like me and had, like, we would laugh about stuff like that later. Like, oh, okay, well, you did this or you did that. Like, I had a sneaky link in the room and you saw them and we was laughing about it or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Like, we would laugh about stuff like that. So I closed the door just taking this like a joke. And D comes out the bathroom. I'm talking about dreads down. Yeah, she had her dreads like all the way down. She had on like a training bra and then a whole strap on. Like just a whole strap on everything. I'm just looking like, you just said D went home. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I see what type of time y'all on. So I'm thinking in my head like, he gonna put the strap on and like, do her. No. The whole time she got a plan to do him. So I'm like, duh, because she's wearing the strap on. She comes out the bathroom, she turns around, she sees me there, and she's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. She's like laughing and everything like that, and she's like, yeah, you might need to talk to Billy or whatever. Don't ask me no questions. I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, I don't know. I was confused. Deeply, deeply confused to the point where I started asking him questions. And then while I was asking him questions, Billy gonna have the nerve to ask me if I wanted to sit and watch or join. So the hour shower now made sense. You took that long in there because you was preparing. So it's like, how long did y'all plan this throughout the night for y'all to do that? Like, was y'all waiting on me to leave anyway? Was I just overstepping my welcomings? I don't know. I said, no, I do not want to watch. No, I do not want to join. I am not into that. I'm not getting. I end up leaving. Until like 2 days later, I saw Billy. Because like the people I would hang out with on a normal basis, they would be with me every day. So I ended up seeing like Billy like 2 days later. And it wasn't weird. It wasn't awkward. It wasn't nothing. Like, we would just like laugh and stuff in class. And he had asked me, he was like, oh, did you tell anybody, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, nah, like, why would I go back and run my mouth about that? That's not something to talk about. Like, he's like, oh yeah, I'm into stuff like that or whatever. I'm into studs and everything. Like, okay, to each his own, you do your thing. Got you. We kept talking about it and stuff like that, but then I pretty much told him like I don't really care, but like, was it fun? Like those were my questions that I wanted to ask. Like, how was it? Was it fun? Was it different? Did she like please you as much as like a dude would? Like all of that and stuff like that. And he said even better. After that, I don't know if it became something regular for them or what, but like prior to that party with us linking up, all three of us, and like talking and chopping it up, they weren't around each other like that. But then they started like being around each other a lot more. And then Billy ended up getting a boyfriend, and D would still be around Billy on a regular basis. So it was like, I don't know if it started becoming like a throuple or what, but yeah, they started being around each other a lot more. So it was just like, it ain't my business. I ain't gonna ask too many questions. It is what it is. But that was really weird. That was like one of the weirdest nights that I ever experienced going to school. I can't make this up. And then the real thing about it is, when I ended up seeing D for the first time after the situation, D done came forth and told me that she's done it with straight dudes on campus. Like, yeah, done got them the same exact way. Done pegged them with her little strap. It confused me, but at the same time, I just wasn't surprised because people are into different things. We'll just say different because I know like a lot of gay dudes are attracted to like studs or stems, you know, just things like that. But I don't know. I'm confused, still confused. So that was the story time on when I had a stud friend and a gay friend intertwined. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed the chips the whole time, to be honest. Now I gotta go smoke. Yeah, leave like a comment or something like that below if you feel like you would have been confused too, or if you had a similar situation, or if you know people that are into that. Like, people starting getting the weird stuff. So, yeah. Stay alive.